The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
So 10 in the morning, 54.32. 1 in the afternoon, 55.30. What do we get it to? 55, what's the exact high there? 55.33. So it was 100 points up, 100 points down, 2% up, 2% down. Volatility everywhere in this market. And this morning, we're kicking things off positive by about 0.7%. We see where we are, right in the middle of the trading day yesterday, basically. 54.79 in the S&Ps. NASDAQ 100, we're up 173 points. 19,166 right now. You get the Dow up 225 points. 40,418 in the Russell, continuing to show strength. Russell, right near the highs of yesterday. You're up by percent in the. You're up by 30 points at 2270. Bitcoin 68,000 on the dot. How about it? Crude at a price tag of 77.65. We're off by 65 pennies right now in the price of crude. Quite a day to the downside on gold yesterday, getting back a little bit of that action on gold. Come on, charts. Come on, catch up for me. What's going on? Come on, charts. Let's go. There we go. I see it. Real-time data's coming. Catch up for me, charts. There's your gold contract. So we're rolling over is what's going on as well. So gold's up $21. We're showing at $24.21. But we were at $23.60 yesterday, so you're not up $60 in gold. You have a rollover causing a spike of about $40 to the upside. Then you have a $20 extension to the upside. So watch the rollovers as they happen today. I think you have the same thing happen in crude. No? What? I was just looking at something. Was it the markets that rolled over too? No, not quite. Nonetheless, gold rolls over its contract from one to the next, and you're at 24.21 right now. You jump over to notes and bonds. We got inflation data this morning. The Fed's preferred inflation gauge, the PCE, showing pretty moderate inflation. What do we have? We got higher price, lower yield right now. The 10-year up by 10 ticks at 111.04 right now. The 30-year up by 17 ticks right now. It could be a wild day in the markets. And before we get into it, folks, don't forget, our man Larry Pesavento, he's kicking it off right now. Live Trading Fridays with Larry. They're all in the room. They're getting ready. It's beginning right now. It could be a great day. You never know what's going to happen on those days, right? He does it on the second and the fourth day of every month. So he's got it on right now. On July 26th. If you sign up now on July 26th, folks, what's cool is you sign up right now for the 26th, okay? You're getting the second Friday in August, which is August 9th, and you're getting the second Friday, you're getting the first Friday in August. All right, let me start over. You're getting the second Friday in August, which is the 9th, and the fourth Friday, which is the 23rd. So you can technically almost squeeze in there right now one of these dates where you get actually 3 of them if you want. I encourage you to stay on. It's an outstanding deal. You can use the code Larry July 24 to save $50 off the first month. So you get in there at $245. You get 3 hours of live trading with Larry in there, and they're in there right now, and it could be an interesting one as we got some inflation data, and that's where we're going to kick it off. So inflation data, as Bloomberg puts it, the preferred inflation gauge, and the PCE is the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. They'll tell you themselves, okay? Rose at a mild pace in June, and I'd say that's putting it pretty mildly. No pun intended, because, yeah, we got some weak numbers in terms of inflation. The PCE, 0.1%. Core PCE, 0.2%. Year over year, 2.6%. Keep in mind the Fed is at 5.25% to 5.5%, folks. Very tough to make the case that they don't have the room for any type of a cut at this point when these are the Fed's preferred inflation gauges. On a monthly basis, core is at 0.2. On a yearly basis, right, 2.6 is the number there. Yeah, across the board. And as they put it, Friday's report offers some encouraging evidence that the Fed's tightening campaign is making its way through the economy without causing too much damage. Officials are widely expected to keep their benchmark interest rate unchanged at next week's meeting, but investors are betting the first rate cut will come in September. So, the spending breakdown. Inflation-adjusted outlays for services and merchandise each rose 0.2%. Housing and utilities led increases in services spending. Vehicles and recreational items propelled advances in goods. Signs of cooling in the labor market are starting to translate into less purchasing power. Wages and salaries rose just 0.3% in June, half of the prior month's pace. On an inflation-adjusted basis, disposable income growth slowed to 0.1%. Savings rate, 3.4%, lowest since December of 2022. Yeah, additional data due next week, including the government's monthly report on employment, will offer the latest insight on how well income growth is holding up. So, the market takes that one in stride. And what do we have? We have yields pulling back. We get the 10-year at 4.21% right now. We have the market enjoying that as we got a little bit of a pop with the S&Ps up by 37 right now. And it is interesting when you take a look at on a monthly basis, the S&Ps, right? It's been quite a volatile month. Maybe we'll get a little volatility today. Great day for Larry's live trading on Friday when you get some inflation data. We got a little bit of a lift, but you had 100 points in both directions yesterday, folks. We might get a wild one today. We'll see on the heels of that. Yes, we got a pop in the beginning of the day, but as we've seen many times, the first move is not always the move that holds, especially once we reach the opening bell. It is interesting, though, when you look at the S&P on a monthly basis, okay, we barely have a red bar. This bar opened at 55.34. You're only 55 points away from a green bar in the S&P futures this month. We got 3 trading days left next month. Okay? So all the hoopla about quite a pullback, right? Quite a pullback yesterday. I just showed you we had 100 points from the highs yesterday to where we closed. You might get a green bar in the S&Ps on a monthly basis. So if you think the volatility is over, if you think this pullback is over, pay attention, man, because I'm not saying it's going to tank, but if we are going to get a pullback, okay, it hasn't even begun, technically, because we are right near potentially a green monthly bar in the S&Ps. You're only 54 points away from a green bar. We opened the S&P month for July at 55.34. We're trading at 54.79. You did make it all the way to 57.21, but interesting nonetheless, right? Yeah, pretty interesting indeed. NASDAQ, a little bit of a different story. NASDAQ 100. You got to get to a price point of 19,970. So you're talking about 800 points. Quite a different story. Tech stocks pulling back, as we know. You check out the Dow on a monthly basis. We get a green bar. Right? There it is in July. We opened at 39,560. We're positive by 900 points on the Dow. And how about the Russell for some context, man? The Russell, we're positive by more than 200 points. Almost a 10% positive run on the Russell 2000. So you talk about a rotation, man, in spades, as my dad would say. All right, folks, stay tuned. We'll come back. We got a lot to talk about. We'll take a look at some equities. We'll go through some of those tech stocks. S&P's up by 38. NASDAQ 100 up by 175. All the markets in green territory. And don't forget, there's still time, folks. Get over there if you're interested. Check out live trading this Fridays with Lucky. Just kick things off right now. And don't forget about Tiger Dollars. Get those Tiger Dollars first to add those savings. We'll be right back. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Tigers, it's back. The annual July Tiger Dollar Sale. If you've been wanting to try one of our products, from our stellar newsletters to educative webinars, now is the time. From now until August 1st, we're offering a 20, 30, even a 40% bonus on Tiger Dollar purchases. After being applied to your account, your Tiger Dollars will be used for all purchases. They can be easily transferred, and they never expire. If you want to receive a 20, 30, or even a 40% bonus from purchasing Tiger Dollars, now is your chance. This is a perfect opportunity to try out a newsletter or save big on your current subscription. This deal is only available until August 1st, so lock in your bonuses fast. Go to TFNN.com today to lock in your bonus. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps up 37, NASDAQ 100 up by 137. Let's check out some of those tech stocks right now. You kick off Amazon shares. Quite the volatility yesterday. Amazon, you're going to get a lift by more than $2 in the pre-market to 182.10 right now. The big dog, Apple, they're going to catch a lift. I mean, you get the NASDAQ 100, I'm almost a full percent, right? Apple shares up by almost $2 to 219. Google shares, they've been on one path this week, and that's lower. They're barely flat this morning as everything else is getting a lift. Now, you came into earnings at 185, and you're going to be down 10% from where you were just as it closed on Thursday. You're trading at about 169. Meta took it on the chin with advertising revenue on Google having a problem with YouTube. They're trading at 453. You were at 495, but you're trading at 460 this morning, so they're going to be up about $7. You jump over to Netflix shares up a bit in the pre-market to 639 right now. You jump over to the Tesla shares up as well to 223. NVIDIA. Yeah, it was quite a volatile session on NVIDIA yesterday. You're going to be up by about $3 on NVIDIA. And yeah, Tesla trading at about 223. All right, so it is an interesting one out here. How about Citron and Andrew Left? Right? They're coming after him, man. And this one's going to be an interesting one. So this is criminal as well, right? Not, the criminal usually doesn't come, but they're coming with the criminal charges as well. The U.S. accuses short seller Andrew Left of securities fraud. Citron Capital, he's been in the headlines forever, it seems like, with his short selling manifestos. The Justice Department says he committed securities fraud. They alleged that he used his online platform to generate about 20 million. I think the number was 16 million. I was reading the Journal article, the Bloomberg piece that they had. And it's going to be interesting to see the details, because, you know, the general allegations here, we'll see where the details come in terms of how they make it. The SEC alleges he would make recommendations on a stock which he had short or long positions on, sometimes giving a target price which he thought the stock would trade at. Left, however, would then capitalize on those price movements and quickly reverse his positions at prices far higher or lower than what he reported. Now, this is the Journal article on the same deal. Okay, U.S. accuses prominent short seller Left of fraud. They say he manipulated stocks by issuing misleading research reports that led to quick trading profits. Now, what they say in here, okay, is that, and this is where it's going to be interesting, if this becomes manipulation and fraud. So, the indictment says he manipulated prices of at least 15 stocks over a 5-year period, earning illegal profits, their quote, illegal profits of $16 million. He sometimes suggested stock prices would fall by 50% or more, but closed his positions after share prices had moved only a couple percent. Okay? I mean, that's not criminal on its own right. Okay, just because you make a statement that you think it's going to fall by more, there is such a thing as freedom of speech, okay? Just because you think a stock is going to fall by more than that, right? Did he have accounts out there that he wasn't disclosing his trading in, right? That's going to be some. How was he working with other hedge funds is going to become an important one as well. Prosecutors accused Left of hiding ties to hedge funds that got early notice of his research and in some cases passing off their trading ideas as his own. I think this is somehow where the details are going to hinge, how those relationships exist, were they disclosed, etc., and how that's going to come into the criminality of what is being accused. The hedge funds traded in advance of his reports becoming public. That's where public knowledge becomes public information, right? And shared a portion of profits with him. Now, I think it was the Ambani, right? How do you say the gentleman's name? The Indian gentleman that he came after. Adani, right? Or whatever it is. That one was reported. He was working with hedge funds. They were making the trades. He got a portion of those profits. He made a tiny pence of what they were making. When asked by investigators in January 2021 about one of those episodes, Left lied and said he never gave prior notice of a report to a hedge fund in exchange for compensation, according to the indictment. When accused of criminality 101, don't talk to the feds, right? Number one, if you lie to the feds, that is a crime in its own right. If you lie to local police, that's not a crime. If you lie to federal investigators, that in and of itself is a crime, okay? So first of all, where were his lawyers? What was he doing even talking to anybody? Because number one, that's a crime in itself when he's talking to federal investigators, lying to them, okay? And number two, then that gets used against him in the eventual indictment, which there it is, in the press. What was he doing? Right? Where were his lawyers? Ego is something that always gets in the way, especially of somebody like this. Left also misled the market by disseminating reports that suggested he managed money for other investors when he only invested his own funds. So, what do you have? You have lies. You have manipulation. And it's a bummer that this is buried, this part, because this is the article. They bury the lead here. Okay, this is the part that is criminal, right? Public information disseminated to hedge funds first, then to the public, right? And then lying about whether you did that, lying about whether you manage money for other investors versus yourself, lying about the trades that you had, reporting those trades as your own or somebody else's, versus, okay, don't get caught up, which is a bummer, when they talk about how he says that it's going to go down 50% and he takes the profit before it reaches that level. You can do that, all right? And what's interesting here is everybody talks their own book. It's not a problem when you have every single person out there talking up equities, okay, and then capitalizing on that and potentially selling out before it reaches the target you're looking for. But somehow when somebody does it on the short side, that becomes illegal. He sometimes suggested stock prices would fall by 50% or more, but close his position after they moved only a couple percent. That doesn't matter at all. That is not criminal, okay? But the last part of that article, yeah, that definitely could become criminal when you're working with hedge funds. You're giving them the information first. They're making trades before that information becomes public. You're lying about whether you have those relationships that exist, and then you're lying about whether you're managing other people's money or you're just making trades on your own. So nonetheless, it is a criminal indictment, and he is in trouble this morning, and that's a grand jury indictment. So it is out there, and they're coming. The indictment returned by an LA grand jury. Yeah, essentially trading on his name and reputation. And, you know, it is pretty remarkable. You have that type of money, you don't got the lawyers to back it up. What are you doing talking to the feds, lying to them? 101. All right, we're coming back for the open, folks. We'll take a look at some of the other equities moving this morning. Stay tuned. We got the opening bell coming up next.
The consistency you're looking for is closer than you think. 1 or 2 adjustments are usually all you need to change your equity curve from red to green and keep it there. Come join Larry Pesavento live to learn what separates the winners from the losers. Join Larry Pesavento on the 2nd and 4th Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, where Larry will show you the market setting up and, most important of all, the state of mind of a winning trader. By watching Larry trade, you'll learn the Fibonacci levels, you'll learn how to apply A to B to C to D trading patterns, you'll learn trade management, pattern recognition, and much more. Join Larry Pesavento Friday, July 12th and Friday, July 26th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time for 3 hours of live trading. For this month only, use promo code LarryJuly24 at checkout to save $50 on your first month subscription. For all the information and to reserve your spot today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. We have a market. Over the past year, the market has been consistent in a strong upward trajectory. But now we're just starting to see signs of volatility. Don't let this volatility scare you. Times like these are when big money can be made. That's why I'm excited to announce a live trading event hosted by yours truly. Join me on Friday, August 2nd at 9 a.m. all the way until noon Eastern Standard Time, while I trade the S&P, the Qs, the NDX 100, and I'm going to be trading the one-day options on the S&P as well as the NDX. To make this deal even better, I'm offering 1 month free of my Market Insight newsletter, which has beaten the market by almost a factor of 5 this year, in addition to a signed copy of my book, The Art of Timing the Trade. On top of trading the market live, I'll discuss how I plan my trading day, what times I've found to be the best to trade, how I decide to enter and exit trades, and so much more. I can't wait to see all you folks there. Make sure you sign up soon so you can get early access to my market insights and secure your spot. Wow! Let's get them, folks.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
We got markets open. S&Ps, they're giving back some of those gains S&P is up by 29, NASDAQ 100 up by 130, Dow up by 220, and the Russell up by 1.3%. Markets give it back a little bit. We check in on commodities. We take a look at gold. Gold contract up by $24, trading at $24.23. Check out that VIX, right? VIX up to 1936 yesterday. Excuse me, we take a look at the dollar index right now. Dollar index backing off. That's helping gold, 104.26. That, of course, you got a weak dollar. Why do you got a weak dollar? You got a weak dollar because we have yields pulling back on weak inflation data, with the 10-year now up 12 ticks right now at 111.06. We're pushing the highs of yesterday. That is correlating to a 10-year yield of 4.2%. 4.20 for our man Elon Musk, right on the dot, 4.20%. The yield on the 10-year right now, and you take a look at this thing on a little bit of a longer-term basis, been quite a run. We got higher highs and higher lows. You're probably coming back to at least a 111.15, which is where we were in the middle of July, right? That higher price point before you ebbed a bit. And yeah, we're probably inching back to where you were at 113.12. And pretty remarkable, you were there at the beginning of the year. But I would say all the data is pointing to 5.25% to 5.5%. We got quite a GDP number yesterday, coming in at 2.8% for the prior quarter. But everything else lining up to where there is some weakness in this market that is probably indicative that 5.25% to 5.5% is probably, and I'm being kind, my opinion, yeah, it's too high right now. You don't need a number that high. Okay, you can still be restrictive in this economy. I could probably make a legitimate case that the Fed could still be restrictive at an interest rate of 4.5% to 4.75% at least, if not even going a little bit lower than that, right? If you're at 4.25% to 4.35%, 4.75%, excuse me, as in 4.5 to 4.75, which would be a solid 3 quarter-point cuts from where we're at right now. Yeah, there's a very real case that you could make the case that you are still in a restrictive stance if you make 3 quarter-point cuts. And that's where the market is making their stance right now. So we'll see where we go from there. All right. It is Olympic season. You got to love Olympic season, right? Now, things are kicking off in pretty dramatic